Hey, welcome back to the show. Show's called Your Money, Your Wealth. Joe Anderson, Big Al. We're doing something a little bit fun today. We're doing a pop quiz, even though pop quiz are not fun. But when it comes to your retirement, what the heck? Let's see how well you're doing. If you need help, go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com. Click on that special offer this week. It's our Retirement Readiness Guide. Our Retirement Readiness Guide. All right, let's see how you all did on that true false.
You must take a required minimum distribution from a 401k, but not a Roth IRA. Well, that's a true statement. 401k, yes, you need to take a required minimum distribution, but did you know if you have a Roth component in a 401k, you still have to take a required minimum distribution from that Roth portion? The workaround is to roll the Roth portion to a Roth IRA, then you don't have to take a required minimum distribution.
I don't know why they can't simplify this, but hey, that's why we're here to help educate you on everything that you need to know in regards to your overall financial affairs. We're doing a pop quiz. Got a few more questions to go. When do you need to start taking your required minimum distributions? RMD, 72, 73, 75, or it depends?
It depends. All three of those are correct answers, and before that it was 70 and a half.
Yeah, 70 and a half. And that was kind of really bad too. It's like 70 and a half. Now I have to take a required distribution. What does that mean is that you have to start taking dollars from your retirement accounts. Because you were able to get a tax deduction going into, let's say, your 401k plan. It grows compound tax deferred. So you got a deduction today and it grows compounding tax deferred. And at a point in time, the IRS is saying, hey, we want some of that money back. Pull the money out of the account. And the reason why they want you to pull the money out of the account is because every dollar is going to be taxed at ordinary income rates. So you can't necessarily compound the tax into perpetuity. They want you at a certain age to start pulling the dollars out. All right, here you go, 1950, 72. 51 and 59, 73, 1960 or later will be 75. Oh, we're getting into taxes now.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
The 24% tax bracket is scheduled to go to what percentage in 2026?
That one I know very well. 28%.
24 goes to 28. You are correct, sir. So that's why tax planning over the next couple of years, I think, is going to be so key for a lot of you. You could buy the tax cheap. The tax rates are going up. The 24% tax bracket is going to 28. And AMT is going to rear its ugly head. So if you're in that 28% tax bracket, the likelihood of you hitting AMT could be highly likely as well.
That's exactly right. And because of the complexities of AMT, alternative minimum tax, you could have an effective rate of 35%. So the point is, pay the tax early, buy the tax cheap. What that means is think about doing Roth conversions, thinking about taking money out of your IRA, 401k, converting it to a Roth IRA. Yes, you pay the tax, but you pay tax in lower brackets in 2024 and 2025.
All right, you pay tax on money when you put it into what type of retirement account? Traditional IRA, Roth IRA, or a simple IRA?
Got to be Roth IRA.
Roth IRA is correct, sir. So it's an after-tax contribution. You put the money in, you've already paid the tax on the dollars. That will grow 100% tax deferred. But with a Roth IRA, as you pull those dollars out, it's 100% tax free. You put $10,000 into the account. You've already paid tax on that $10,000. The $10,000 grows to $20,000. You pull the $20,000 out, how much money do you pay in tax? Nothing, zero, right? It's a pretty good deal for most people. The Roth IRA, one of the best things I think the IRS has ever given us in regards to retirement plans, and they're just keep giving and giving and giving.
Well, they are, and I think it's, as we just talked about, we know we have lower rates for the next 2 years. Will they continue in 2026? Maybe. Maybe they'll be extended, but as it's written right now, the rates are going up. So this is a great time for tax planning. Put yourself in a better position for your retirement to pay less taxes.
Down to the wire, Al.
Okay.
$1 now equals what in purchasing power after 20 years? Again, impossible to answer because we need some variables. We need one more thing. We need an inflation rate here.
Well, let's use 3% because that's a good enough number.
We're going to guess.
So
all right.
Rule of 72 would say it's about double-ish. So I'm going to go with $1.81.
$1.81. $1.81, almost double, 20 years. So you buy something for $1, it's going to cost you almost $2 in 20 years from now. We talked about life expectancy. People are retiring earlier, living a lot longer. So the likelihood of you having a 20, 30-year retirement is really, really, really high. So the things that you're buying when you first hit retirement, and then when you have to purchase those same items 10, 20 years later, just understand the impact of inflation, given a 3% inflation rate. We're experiencing a lot higher inflation today, but we've experienced a lot lower too. It usually evens out, 3.5% is a good number. This is why we invest. It's just because of inflation. The dollar that we have today needs to outpace inflation so you can continue to buy the goods and services in the future as you are today. All right, let's switch gears. Let's go to your questions.
Is it better to invest in a mutual fund or ETF? Oh, that's a good question. They're actually pretty similar. What do you think, Joe?
I don't care. Makes no difference. I mean, we're honest, right? An exchange traded fund, it's a basket of stocks that can buy and sell on the exchange. It's tax efficient. It's going to be low cost. If you have an index fund, it acts very similar, but it sells at NAV. For most people, it really doesn't matter. If you're looking at actively traded mutual funds, you know, some of them are good, some of them are bad. Actively managed funds are a little bit more expensive. It might kick out some tax for you. I think it's the overall portfolio is what you want to be focused on. How much money you have in stocks versus bonds, how much money that you have in international versus US, and so on and so forth. And then getting into the minutia on what instrument that you use. Yeah, I think it's important, but for most people, if they have an index fund versus an ETF,
yeah, it doesn't matter that much. I think you're right. The most important thing is the underlying investments and the cost, right? The cost inside the fund or ETF. I guess if you had two exactly equal choices, I probably would pick the ETF. I think they're slightly better, but the differences are so minuscule. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Okay, what did we learn? You got to take some action. How'd you do on your quiz? Hopefully, most of you passed with flying colors, but you want to plan, right? You got to write down the goals. Figure out what you're trying to accomplish. Write it down. You're much more apt to accomplish the goal if you just write it down. Prepare for an early retirement. A lot of us say, hey, I want to work until I'm 75 years old. The reality is a lot of us will retire earlier than anticipated because of unforeseen circumstances. We're living longer. We got to look at what our retirement spending is, right? If we're off on this, if we think we're spending X and we're spending a lot more than that, that money's going to drain that much quicker. Looking at calculating a savings need. If you're in your 30s and 40s or 50s and you want to retire over the next 10, 20, 30 years, start today. Start figuring out exactly what you need to save. Looking at Social Security strategies, be tax efficient, factor in inflation. I mean, there's so much more, but this is the high-level bullet points. If you start doing these things, I think you're going to be a lot more successful. Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com, click on that special offer. It's our Retirement Readiness Guide. Are you ready for retirement? Well, get the guide. It's free of charge. You can download it right there on your computer. Hopefully you enjoyed the pop quiz. Let us know what you thought. For Big Al Clopine, I'm Joe Anderson. We will see you next time, folks.
Ready to take charge of your financial future? Pure Financial Advisors can help. We offer a no-cost, no-obligation financial assessment with a personalized action plan. Make informed decisions on how to get on your best path to retirement. Sign up for our free assessment online at purefinancial.com to schedule your appointment.